So we're pulling the first card from here. I may have the deck upside down, which I do, so I'm just going to turn it around. There's no point having it up the other way. Well, you guys have started with man holding a heart, so that is really nice. And we were just talking about the compassion that the earth is feeling right at the moment after the Notre Dame event, and feeling, united, unity, following the cause, feeling from the heart. So this man, this man here, he's coming to you with a heart on his, not his sleeve as the saying goes, but he's holding it down very low and looking rather beautifully into your eyes. So he often does denote something that affects you by the heart, or a possible relationship as such as a romantic one as well. So for some of you, this could mean new romance coming. It could mean that you are working on romantic areas or aspects of your life. So even if you're in a current relationship, you might be reorganizing it, or rededicating time to it, or sorting things out, or spending time together, or putting some healing energy towards it. But it's a great way to start your reading with the energy of love, and it's very visually there indeed. So the second one I will go from this is the John Holland Psychic Tarot. Wow, a major arcana for you, and it's number 20, and it's the Truth card, which is the Judgment card. So I like judgment. It comes to us in times of great change, in times of great awareness, when something might have hit us like a bolt out of the blue, very similar to the whole Notre Dame event. Often when we see things such as a global event that affects people at the heart level, or makes you think a little bit deeper about life, or what's going on, or what your belief systems may be, or how you feel about events taking place, these are the moments that the Truth card or the Judgment come out to us. And sometimes, as I said earlier, it's the big events in life, even beyond our own internal events or our own personal agendas, but it's the big things that can happen that can be turning points for many individuals. So whether or not it's something like that might have made you think something, or feel something, or want to make a change somewhere, the Truth card or the Judgment card embellishes all of that as well. So it can be about bringing balance into situations, and bringing more balance into areas of your life, whether it be relationships, emotions, belief systems, your job, your career, your ideals, your integrity values. It could reside anywhere. But usually when it is a major arcana card, it's telling us that this pulsating, or this feeling, or this movement or activity is coming to you from a far greater level than just yourself. It's almost as if you feel as though that the universe is prompting you, or propelling events or places or people into your life, and you suddenly start to go, wow, I think I need to readdress this one way or another, bring some balance into some of my perspectives so that I can move forward with greater vision and clarity. So it is a good card. It can also mean, from the traditional card, that some of you might have head pains, neck pains, eye ache. Some of you might go and see someone for new glasses, or something about your teeth. There can be things along those lines, as well as hearing issues as well. You might also hear psychic messages coming in, experience vivid dreams that give you messages too. So be on the watch for any of those. Interesting. Someone had to get that card, I suppose, and it's almost again embellishing the whole feeling of the Notre Dame energy. That's the rose window in the background, and those are people that seem to be feeling very sad and deflated. So the Five of Pentacles, it could be emulating the whole Notre Dame energy, and some of you might have felt more compelled to be impacted by it, whether or not you live in France or Paris, or have visited it yourself, or whether you just felt the pain of the people and it has grabbed you emotionally. But if it's not that, the Five of Pentacles often represents a short-term glitch, I suppose, in life. And it can be to do with finances, but it can also be to do with emotional and physical health. It can also represent relationships. So sometimes this card could be saying that there's a possible moving away in a relationship. Like one partner often says to the other one, look, I'm not feeling this passion anymore. I think we're over. There can also be an injury. This guy here with his head bandages and his blood and wounded everywhere. So take care when this card pops out, but take good personal care. Watch out for simple things like slipping or falling over or missing your step or running after something and slipping, because it can end up in a fall or with something like broken bones as well. So there's a couple of things here for you guys tending to a little bit of physical health in this month of May. The other thing with the Five of Pentacles, even things like the flu, getting a flu or a virus or a sore throat, and that comes back to this, what I mentioned before here about the head, things going on with the head. And the other thing is temporary money glitches. So if you were expecting payments, they might be a little bit late. If you were expecting a pay rise, you might be getting told, oh no, sorry, we've not got the money. If you thought you were going to win lotto for the weekend or the next month, it might not happen. But just be, ready for energies when they come like this. Be charged, be prepared, hold a bit of money back, take extra caution physically, and keep your emotions as buoyed up as they can be, and look after yourself, basically. They're good cards still because they give us kind of like advance warning. Let's see what the next one is. Another 5. So you've got the 2 5s, they're reenacting each other, giving a little bit, giving each other a little bit more impetus. And what did I say at the beginning of the reading? There's a power day coming, and it's the 5th of the 5th. Boom. So, this might be synchronicity letting you know that that day in May could be very powerful for you guys to utilize cosmic energy. And it could be that it brings you some sort of positivity or benevolence. So don't necessarily think that these two might be representing more disarray. It could be that the 2 5s coming together for the 5th of May, the 5-5 numerology power day, might be a great message in the background. You see how there's many different ways to interpret a reading and to feel into them. Some people tend to stick with just the absolute meaning of the card, but I've always struggled with that. I'm a very intuitive reader, and I go much more with the flow of what's happening within the reading. But what I can also tell you is that this 5 of Wands is still about energy around that's quite feisty or fiery or a little bit argumentative. It could represent these two here. So it could represent some sort of disillusionment between friends. It doesn't have to be romantic couple, but it could be friendships. It could even be family members where there's some sort of altercation or falling out or disagreement over probably something verbal or communication. This can also represent the fact that there's a lot of competition around, and that sometimes you might end up feeling like this, as if you've been a bit beaten down. So the other message about that, which I kind of said to you guys, is buoy yourselves up, be buoyant as you can and be as ready as you can to muster up energy and muster up your passions for what you feel is right. So if there's something that you want to really speak about or get through to someone, make sure you do it the right way, but don't let others push you around at that time either. So be a bit of strength and hold the strength. Well, that's nice. That's the 3 of Cups, and the Rejoice and Celebration is a wonderful card. So it often turns up when there are actually events to go to, like social events that can be really happy, spontaneous, bubbly, things like weddings or anniversaries or christenings or engagements, 21sts, celebration of achievement, of getting your certificates or degrees or diplomas, even sometimes getting a job for some of you, and you might go, yay, I got this job I wanted, let's celebrate. It can also represent the number 3, and often represents 3 woman. So it's kind of like the sisterhood energy. So it's quite a feminine card. It gives off lovely feminine, nurturing, looking out for each other, holding each other up and supporting each other type energy, which is kind of better than this one over here in a way. So if you're feeling like this at all, or you feel there's that energy around, do take a look out for people who are here to support you and get the feminine side of your life in balance as well, because it may give you more nurturing. It might support you in times of not angst, but agitation perhaps. This can also represent 3 friends, and sometimes it is 3 girlfriends that you haven't seen in a long time and that you might be catching up with, that you hadn't seen in ages. And they generally represent great times, enjoyment and support and nurture. Yeah, you see, rest and rejuvenation, and I kind of said that to you. I was getting a feeling from these other cards down here that you guys might need to really give yourself a bit of love and care in this month of May. Perhaps you'd had a great time through March and April, or plenty has been going on in the months before that has either zapped you a little bit or taken its toll on you one way or another, whether it was really scintillating stuff and fun stuff like partying, or catching up with friends or hosting events, or whether it's been quite trying stuff such as getting projects finished, or trying to find a completion for something, or going through an event such as a separation or moving homes. Any of those things can be very stressful, or even getting a new job, or having come through some sort of health issue. You need to do these things. You need to take the rest and the rejuvenation time out. And I see in particular the energy surging through his thorax area and his chest. So whether or not this refers to like our lungs, breathing issues, asthma, colds, flus, pneumonia, or even for some of you needing chest x-rays for one thing or another. But I think all of us benefit from rest and rejuvenation because we can refuel our mind, body and soul at that time. And we also allow ourselves to daydream and find the creative passions again. So if any of you were struggling with finding some creativity, if you had writer's block, or if you were trying to finish a project and you just run out of ideas or capacity, it's when you take the rest and rejuvenation that these things can help resolve these issues for you. Okay, so I'm going to go to here, the soul's journey, and see what you've got here. Gosh, my goodness, this card, the envy thing, has come out so much. I think it's been out one way or another at least 3 times. I'm only into the 4th reading. So there's something in the month about envy, and I don't know what it is, but well, I'll read from the book for you. Envy. I am the same as everybody, but with different challenges. So I'll just find the book, turn it to envy. Now remember what I said about the mandalas. They can be very, very useful for creating a road in, that gaining more insight through viewing the mandalas. They open things up. They create an energetic pathway that helps you to see through or connect with the way of resolution to move out of envy in this instance. You must learn to accept that obstacles in your life have been chosen by you. To be jealous of the soul path of another is to doubt your ability to judge what is best for you. It is human nature to covet the perceived luxuries of someone on a different journey, but to try to emulate him or her is not being true to your own guidance. You have chosen this life and these circumstances for a reason. By disregarding that and following in the footsteps of another, you are only setting yourself up for confusion and disappointment. You never truly know what is going on in another person's life, and what personal challenges he or she may face. So to be envious is a fool's game. Be authentic to your inner voice, because only you know what is in your best interests. If you don't follow your own path, you will have to reincarnate in an attempt to learn your original lessons again. So I think reading from the book about the envy there, it's really important to listen to yourself. And of all the cards that most resemble that so far in your reading, it is the Truth, the Judgment card. It's about following your life's journey and balancing it out and knowing when you've perhaps not been on the right journey or needing to make a change one way or another. And so it's about coming back into the self and realigning with the self and dropping off anyone else's, as the message said, supposed luxuries or fanfare or excitements of life, because even the people that seem to have it good, there's always something in there that is not working for them either. So where to next? I think we will come back to the John Holland Psychic Tarot and see what we have here. So the sacral chakra is being mentioned, which is the kind of orangey hue, and we've got a bit of orange coming through here as well. So for some of you, there could be, something a bit imbalanced in that area of the body. And interestingly enough, the rest and rejuvenation, the light is coming through the thorax and going into almost the sacral area where he holds his hands, because this energy is flowing up and into here as well. So for some of you, if there's any healing to do in this part of your body, and this is where we hold our creativity, as a matter of fact. So if any of you have had blocks, which I did mention about with the card as well, it's a really good time to get this area of your body flowing, and you can do it through things like rest and rejuvenation, meditations, wearing the orange colours, doing exercise such as yogas and focusing on that part of your body. Also eating those type of foods that contain orange pigments, writing down some goals, a list of things that you want to achieve and how you want to achieve them, and so that you can take proactive action in moving forward. So if the sacral chakra area is blocked, your creativity is stagnating or slowing down or kind of not flowing at all. The other aspects that it can be involved with, of course, this is also where the sex organs, if you like, are in the body. So sexual representation may be also a little bit out of kilter for some of you. Now this can involve things, especially for women I'm talking about here, where if some of you have been trying to get pregnant and have had a problem, it could be because there's a blockage in here. That could be an emotional blockage or a physical one that might need attending to, either through some sort of natural therapies or even through a doctor's help. Some of you may be having problems as well, if it's not necessarily about conceiving a pregnancy, but there might be pain issues such as menorrhagia or lack of periods or severe period pain, that type of thing. There could be other problems with also in the lower bowel area, because that also covers off the sacral chakra areas. So any blockages in there come up as blocked physical parts of our body as well. So our physical area of our body can also represent or present as being in pain. So whether or not it's emotional clearing or physical clearing, the rest and the rejuvenation, the meditation, the physical things you can do to help it will all benefit a long way, and it will also help just naturally to be able to drop off some envy if there's any there as well. So it's seeming to me at the moment for you guys that May is what I would call the Get Fit month. It's the month of self-care, of self-nurturing and looking after your physical, emotional and mental health. And we must all do that during the year. you know, more than ever, we need to actually be nurturing ourselves at every level. And sometimes we'll go months and months without thinking about it enough. And other times you'll get a reading like this that goes, boom, we need to love ourselves again, and we need to nurture ourselves again. So this love may even be your own self-love we're talking about, because that's how we started the reading. And self-love is self-nurture and self-care as well. So, and the Sun, another beautiful card, very much like the major arcana in the traditional tarot. The Sun again is about all of the good things in life, the nurturing, the warmth, the care, the love, the happiness. It's about new journeys, new ventures, new excitement. It can be about the creation of a baby, as we see there, hanging off. So fertilization, conception, this can be of ideas as well, not just pregnancy. It can be new love. It can be recharging your batteries, because how do we recharge our batteries? We often take a holiday or a break, and often in the Sun, not all the time I know, but the Sun is known for recharging our batteries and being in the sun. So that's a really good message too for a lot of you, to spend some time outdoors, connect with it, bathe in the sun, take some vitamin D if you think you are low in vitamin D, because most of us actually are. And I happen to know that because I worked in a laboratory, and it just so happens we did a vitamin D survey for a while on people, and they were all low. So there weren't anyone with a normal level of vitamin D, and that's what you get from the Sun. But remember, the Sun is also about childhood enjoyment, feeling at one with life and nature, embellishing the wonderful harmony of life and love, and feeling joy and bliss. And often again you can do that when you are having rest and rejuvenation. And again, the Sun sort of has a golden glow or an orange glow, like these two cards here. So coming to here, the Hanged Man, and I think he's upside down, so, which is unusual. At the moment there shouldn't be any reversals in the deck, so I guess when one does come as a reversal, that we need to probably listen to what it's saying. It is a major arcana card, so some of the messages for the Hanged Man reversed sort of mean it encourages you to pause for a moment and sort of see things from a different perspective. When it's reversed, it can show you that you need to hit the pause button in life. So, and I think we should turn him back upside down again so that he is reversed, which is what we're talking about. Sometimes it means you are filling your day with too many tasks and projects, and you're keeping busy and you're distracting yourself from the actual issue that needs your attention. Your spirit and body are asking you to slow down, but your mind keeps racing, which is a very Sagittarius thing. You know, your mind is very, very active, and often you are always on the go too. So stop and rest before it's too late. The universe will only dial up the volume if you ignore it, and as a result you may end up crashing. So as soon as you hear the call, clear your schedule and make the space so you can tune in and listen. And we've talked so much about it. You know, we've had this card out now 3 or 4 times, and even the Truth card. It's all about listening to the inherent messages that are coming your way for the month, and I think it's just been quite a strong sort of signal for you guys to really slow down a little bit and pace yourselves out. Pick what is really important to be doing at the moment, and pick what is important to be focusing on, because some of the things that you're taking on and some of the stuff you're doing is just not going to probably foster you that well, and it's not going to take you to necessarily the next best place. Be more ruthless in your planning. Be more forceful in the demands put on you. Be more empowered about yourself and your choices and your quest in life, because in the end that is the one thing that you have to sort out the most. So I think we're just about finished, because we've kind of gone over a lot of the same things again, but if I pull one more card, I'll do one from the John Holland deck. Well, I mean, maybe I should have stopped, but I've done it, I've pulled it. So number 13, of course, is the transformation, which is the death card. So I feel for you guys, and that's funny that this one is now just sitting straight on the top, even though it was the first one out. I feel when you get something like the truth and the transformation, or the death and the judgment together, there's some really big stuff going on in the background. It's like a major change. It's like turning from the, the beautiful monarch caterpillar into the monarch butterfly, literally, and that's a big transformation to go through. But it doesn't mean it's bad, so don't panic about that. But I think for a lot of you, there's some stuff that is going to disappear. There's going to be given away, and a lot of it comes back to your core values and your integrity. And who are you? What is it you want? Where do you want to go? Who's stopping you from doing it in a perceived fashion? Or how are you stopping yourself from going on this path forward? What is it around you that is creating the feeling of, envy possibly, of thinking that you don't have what you want, or that others have got seemingly what you think you want? There's a whole bunch of things in this reading that are just talking very, very deeply about yourself. And as I say, when these type of readings come to us, they are transformative. They are amazingly empowering. They do tell us to face the truth and balance things out. So for some of you guys, this will really resonate, and of course, because it's a general reading, it'll be different for each and every one of you as to what this is all about and what direction you're going in. But there's a lot in here about changing some things out, taking some time out, most definitely, with some rest and rejuvenation, clearing some stuff out from this sacral area, part of your body, whether there's ever been any pain or emotional trauma there as well, that might need to be cleared, to be opened up. Take some time out to enjoy the rejoices and celebrations with a few friends, close friends or relatives, and harness the energy of the sun as well, and enjoy the opulence of nature and the truth that nature can give to us, and being at one with nature. So a powerful reading, because there's so many big cards in here and so much possibility for this transformation. But I think this one of the last cards that we picked, the reversed Hanged Man, gave us quite a message, in as much that it said, you're being asked to stop and address your issues that need attention before it's too late, and also to take rest. And when we rest, we often become much more creative, and we are more in tune with our higher self and what we really need to be doing and where we really need to be going.